मनस्यन्यद्वचस्यन्यत् कर्मण्यन्यत् दुरात्मनाम् वनस्येकं वचस्येकं कर्मण्येकं महात्मनाम्.
Today we sit with one of the most quietly powerful verses in all of Sanskrit literature. It comes from the Hitopadesha and it goes like this: Manasi anyat, vachasi anyat, karmani anyat, duratmanam. Manasi ekam, vachasi ekam, karmani ekam, mahatmanam. Listen to the translation. For the wicked soul, there is one thing in the mind, another thing in speech, and yet another thing in action. For the great soul, there is one and the same thing in the mind, in speech, and in action. That's the entire verse, and yet inside these two lines is a complete theory of human character. Let's take the words one by one. Manasi means in the mind, and it comes from the root man, which means to think. The same ancient root, by the way, that gives us the English word mind and the Sanskrit word manana, deep reflection, which is exactly what we are doing right now. Vachasi means in speech, from the root vach, to speak. Karmani means in action, from the root kri, to do, the root of the word karma itself. Anyat means something different, something other. Ekam means one and the same. And then the two words that carry the whole moral weight: duratmanam, of those whose soul is corrupted. Dus meaning ill or disordered, Atman meaning the self, and mahatmanam, of those whose soul is great. Mahat, vast, plus Atman. Yes, this is the very word the world later gave to Gandhi, Mahatma, the great souled one. Now here is something beautiful about the construction. The two lines of the verse are perfect mirrors of each other. Only two words change. Anyat, other, becomes ekam, one, and the wicked become the great. The entire difference between a corrupted soul and a great soul, the poet is saying, comes down to a single substitution, replacing otherness with oneness, fragmentation with unity. Where does this verse come from? The Hitopadesha, meaning beneficial instruction, was composed by a scholar named Narayana Pandita, most likely in Bengal, somewhere around the 9th to 12th century. It's a book of animal fables written to train young princes in practical wisdom. And this particular verse appears in the section called Mitralabha, the gaining of friends, whose burning question is, how do you know whom to trust? The fables there are full of sweet-talking jackals and innocent deer. The jackal's speech is honey, but his mind holds betrayal, and his actions will prove it. So this verse was originally survival advice for a ruler. Never judge a person by words alone. Check whether their mind, their words, and their deeds all point in the same direction. If the three scatter, beware. But underneath the political advice lies something much deeper. Notice that the verse doesn't say bad people lie. It says the wicked have a disordered self, a divided Atman. Think about what hypocrisy actually does to a person. The one who deceives becomes, in effect, three different people: a thinker with one agenda, a speaker with another, a doer with a third. He has to maintain three separate accounts and constantly reconcile them. Deceit is exhausting. The first victim of every lie is the liar's own wholeness. And the great soul? The great soul is simply eka, singular. There is only one of him. What he thinks, he says. What he says, he does. You can read his mind in his footsteps. That transparency is his power, and it is why we trust such people instinctively. The world's other wisdom traditions arrived at the same insight. The English word integrity comes from the Latin integer, meaning whole, undivided, the exact idea of ekam. Its opposite, duplicity, literally means twofold. Jesus taught, let your yes be yes and your no be no. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. The Buddhist path itself divides along this verse's triad: right thought, right speech, right action. And modern psychology has caught up too. The theory of cognitive dissonance describes the measurable mental strain we feel when our beliefs, words, and behavior diverge. Research on authenticity shows that people whose inner life matches their outer expression report more well being and less anxiety. Divided selves burn enormous energy managing impressions. Unified selves are, quite literally, more efficient. Gandhi compressed all of it into one sentence. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. So, how do we live this verse starting today? Let me offer two simple practices. First, a nightly audit. Tonight, before sleeping, pick just one statement you made today. Ask three questions. What did I actually think when I said it? What did I say? What did I then do? Notice honestly whether the three aligned. One statement per night, no more. The goal is not guilt, it is detection. You cannot unify what you haven't noticed is divided. Second, a habit for the coming week. Shrink the promise until it is true. Before you commit to anything, I'll call you, I'll finish it by Friday. Pause for one breath and ask, is this ekam or anyat? Is my inner intention really matching these words? If not, don't force the intention upward. Bring the sentence downward until it is exactly true. Say, I will try to call you this week. This one habit slowly fuses mind and speech, and action follows naturally because now you only owe what you truly meant. And sit with these questions. Where in my life am I currently running three accounts? What is the hidden cost of keeping them reconciled? And the people I trust most deeply, isn't it precisely because their mind, word, and deed are transparent to me? What would it take for me to become that person for someone else? Manasi ekam, vachasi ekam, karmani ekam, mahatmanam. One thing in the mind, one in the word, one in the deed. The verse makes greatness astonishingly democratic. It does not ask for wealth, brilliance, or heroic deeds. It asks only that you become one person instead of three. Begin tonight with a single sentence made whole.
मनस्यन्यद्वचस्यन्यत् कर्मण्यन्यद्दुरात्मनाम् वनस्येकं वचस्येकं कर्मण्येकं महात्मनाम्